and showed really good determination. He didn't look to travel all that comfortably there once the speed went on, but to his credit, he found a way, which good horses do. So now 4 wins from just 5 starts, so you can't do much more than that as you work your way through the grades, and showed a bit of versatility. That's the first time he's won in his career from taking a trail.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, Brad. I just think he added another big string to his bow there. He had to chase that really, really hot speed. He was under pressure coming to the home turn, but he dug deep and really hit the line strong. So, again, I think he's added a big string to his bow there today.
Numbers here, 6-1, 13 and 9, with one to come from Rosehill.
Big one of the day out of Eagle Farm here in Brisbane. This is the Star Stradbroke Handicap over 1,400 metres, worth $3 million. The Group 1. And number 1 is Bella Nipotina, Craig Williams and Kieran Maher.
An outstanding mare. She was terrific last start over the 1,300. Pipped on the post here in the Kingsford Smith Cup. Few people querying her at the distance. She was great there, and I think it was last preparation. She actually won Rosehill 1,300 metres, beating Private Eye over the 1,300. She's just got to be able to sort of get into a half a handy spot somewhere to ensure that she runs it out. Track just firming up a little bit, so she'll need to deal with that as well.
Magic Time, Michael D. Graham Begg.
Well, Jill, Group 1 winning mare, should map well here. You've got to forgive last start where a few things went wrong with galloped on and lost a shoe, so she shapes right up in the race like this.
Big hope for the locals. Number 3, Antino, Vlad Durick on for Tony Gollan.
I think 90% of positives for him. The little 10% is his racing pattern. He loves to get back. Big field of 18. All he needs is a touch of luck, and he's right in the finish.
Benedetta, number 4, Daniel Stackhouse, Jason Warren.
Well, how can you, Potter? A very good mare off a Group 1 win last start. The map looks kind, although new territory for 1,400 metres here. That's the main question mark.
Cepheus, number 5, Tommy Berry and Matthew Dunn.
We've got the World Pool going on for this race here, so if you're having a Quinella Place or a duet, you'll be betting into a massive pool, and he could be one that could lob into a place here. He's got a little bit of speed and could put himself nice and handy and stay on for a place.
And the track's to suit, the dry track. Here's Valana, big winner 7 days ago in the Morton Cup. Tim Clark and James Cumming.
Well, he burst onto the scene last week, didn't he, with a big win. It was supposed to be his lead-up run, so there's something up the sleeve. It wasn't a rush to get him here. It's been a plan to have him on the backup. So, can go forward here. A lot of chances drawn outside him, which is good. And that big turn of speed that he's got is going to come in to be very important here.
He is the favourite. Now, here's number 7, Here to Shock, Regan Bayliss for the Hayes boys from down south at Lindsay Park.
Well, there's everything to like about this horse. Got a great record over this distance. He's got a gate where he can position him, Regan, anywhere in the field, and he's at a decent price for a horse with his CV.
Nugget, Jason Collett, Kieran Maher.
He's a month fresh and forgive run with no room at Scone there. He'd be my top pick if this was a mile, but it's not. So if he happens to get more speed than expected, look out for him to be launching upon them late.
The farthest traveller is the inevitable, the Taswegian, Craig Newitt and John Keys.
Well, he's a rising 9-year-old, so he's got to create a bit of history there to win, but gee, he looked like a 3-year-old at Doomben the other day, really rattling home. His sectionals were outstanding. He finished alongside of Valada and Yellow Brick, who have come out of that to win. He'll sit back and be the sniper here.
Amenable, number 10, Chad Schofield for Price and Kent Jr.
Hasn't won in a while, but the form is great. He dropped 7 kilos from last start and good weight for age form prior to that. So one of the weight horses of the race.
Another local, Prince of Boom, the leader, Tyler Schiller for Robert Heathcote.
Yeah, and I think he'll roll on at a decent tempo. He did have a wind surgery a few seasons ago, and they like to just let him run at his own steam. And he could possibly hold on for a place with a lightweight.
Osipenko, number 12, Mark Duplessis riding for Chris Waller.
Yeah, I wonder what Chris is up to here. He's sort of looks like a planned second up into this race, just in the wrong part of the track, like a barrier trial there first up. So we know he's a very, very talented horse if he can find his right form.
Mighty Ulysses, Damien Thornton, Annabelle Neesham.
I think they can get into a reasonable position. Wouldn't surprise to see him finish in the top 4. He's had a little bit of a freshen up since the Hollandale.
Samana, Dylan Gibbons, Kieran Maher.
Yeah, well, she's had a 2-month freshen as well in one trial. Great looking record now, and can't second guess Kieran Maher producing her first up here, and I reckon she looks enormous.
Dream Hour, Robbie Dolan for Chris Lees.
Form doesn't look solid enough, although he was very good at Doomben at the recent midweek. He blew the start. His sectionals were very good though.
Now to the 3-year-olds. The Colt, Stepardi, Dean Yendall, Paul Pruska.
Yeah, interesting. He's been a little sneaky go all week. The blinkers are on him. He did a few little things wrong when having his first run here. It'd be better for the experience. And another one maps beautifully with no weight from an inside draw.
And here are the fillies, Steffi Magnetica, Zach Lloyd and Björn Baker.
Yeah, well, she's always around the money. This is a challenge for her from that wide gate, but if she produces a run like she did in the Doomben 10,000, she's going to be right there with them at the end.
And roll on high, Will Price for Peter Moody and Catherine Coleman.
Well, back to winning form in the Fred Best, so always promised to get to this level, and here she is with 50 kilos off a last start win.
Well, Bernie, what a Stradbroke it is, a very open race.
It is.
How did you deal with this?
Well, do you know what? I've really actually enjoyed looking at them. There's such a quality field, naturally being a Group 1, but our signature race here in Queensland, they're all shapes and sizes, and pretty much all of them are looking in their peak condition other than the odd woolly coat. So I'm a Queenslander. I'm sticking with Antino. He is a good sort, but I do concede that, he's got a lot to do and he needs an absolute beautiful ride from Vlad Jurek. But he's come on beautifully since the Kingsford Smith. He's his usual cool, calm and collected. But next best in the yard is definitely the 9-year-old, the Inevitable. I thought just a faultless parade by him, and you can't help but like Valana in there as well.
Well, I'm with Antino, I'm with Bernie, the locally trained galloper here, trained by Tony Gollan, to be ridden by Vlad Jurek. He's only had the 16 starts, this fellow, for 10 wins, and perhaps there should have been a few more wins due to the pattern of his racing where he gets back. Just one blemish. He finished down the track at Rose Hill in the 5 Diamonds back in November of last year. He did pull up mildly lame, but since then he's had a good spell. He's returned in good order. He won first up here, and then he ran really well in the Kingsford Smith Cup behind I Wish I Win and, of course, Bella Nipotina. His closing sectionals were very good, so I think he can do it today, Antino. 3 on top of number 6, Valana, number 8, Nugget. No luck last start. You'll see the 0, but he couldn't get clear at any stage at Scone. And then the Inevitable, the rising 9-year-old, to hit the line hard. 3 Antino, 6, 8 and 9 in the Stradbroke.
I'm 6, 9, 2 and 7. I'm just referring back to Valana, who's he just was so good last week. 4th up, off a win, on a back up, with this being the target race for him. A couple of good long shots here. 9, the Inevitable. I think he'll run really well on a bigger track second up here today. Can't dismiss the class. I think she's got plenty of magic time. A dual Group 1 winner who can push forward here and find a spot as well. The other one that's huge odds here is Here to Shock. Just getting that charmed run from Barrier 1, and he's in career best form. If I could just mention one out of the yard who I'd love to promote, it's Samana, number 14. 6, 9, 2 and 7.
Okay, what's the late betting telling us here, Tim Ryan, in the Stradbroke of 2024?
Your favourite. He's been pretty much $5 all day long. He remains a $5 quote. He's in from $7 on opening earlier in the week, so he's going to run your favourite just now into $4.80. He's rock solid at the top. The 2 that they've backed are the 2 that have come up short on the World Pool, and they've just been the firmers in the last 10 or 15 minutes. Antino got to a high of $9. He came up really short on the World Pool. He's now back into 7. He's a bad way for us at tab.com.au. And the other horse that came up short on the World Pool, Bella Nipotina in the $8 and $9 range on that tote. Got to a high of $15. She's been backed into $11. So there are two worst ways, Antino and Bella Nipotina. Amenable, just a few bets for it in the last few minutes or so. Got to a high of $11. It's back into 10. So it's now third pick. Then we're out to Magic Time 13, Benedetta 13. And a good sneaky go here late for Nugget. Got to a high of $19 today. Could have even got $19 about 15 minutes ago. It's now into $15. So some really good late bets here for Nugget. Stepati was well backed early in the week. That money's dried up. It's now back out to $17. But a really wide open Stradbroke this year. Valana's going to run your favourite, but a couple of big losers for us here. Antino, Bella Nipotina. Magic Times also had some good support, and Stepati.
Creeping to the million now for all these pools. 900,000 in the win pool, 952,000 in the Quinella, 859,000 in the duet, 686,000 in the place, 524,000 in the trifecta, and we've still got a lot of runners to be loaded yet, so we're going to have multiple $1 million pools here leading up to the starter hitting the button. There's probably the smallest horse in the field, the Inevitable, the Tasmanian galloper, the pride of the Apple Isle. He's been up here for some time and he's had the time of his life down there at Jacobs Well.
He might be the smallest horse, but I think he's got the biggest heart and he's got a ripper of a heart.
Valana, James Cummings took the first Group 1 of the day with broadsiding. Remember his name. He is an outstanding 2-year-old. He bolted in the mile Group 1 for the 2-year-olds, the JJ Atkins. Quinella pool goes to $1 million, and the Win and Duet pool are about to tick over to $1 million. This World Pool Stradbroke, $4.80 Valana on the fixed odds, $7 Antino, 10 Amenable, $11 Bella Nipotina, 13 for Magic Time. A number of these horses will be racing for an Everest slot as well in October. With slot owners, there's only 2 horses locked into the field in secret for Godolphin, bustling for Werrett and Whitby. The rest of them, it's all up for grabs. And there's contenders galore here, particularly Bella Nipotina and Magic Time. And Samana's about to go up. So here's the Stradbroke, race 8 out of Eagle Farm in Brisbane.
Right to run. Light turned on. All in. We're rights. Stand by, 1 or 2 dancing about. Set now, racing in the Stradbroke, and here to Shock and Stepati both began well. Antino's Bomb the Kick has come out last there. Prince of Boom is going forward. Handy also is Amenable, and also Magic Time. Valana followed there by Bella Nipotina, and then Dream Hour Samana is the next one. Further back, Benedetta. A long way back as they swing down the side. There is Nugget, followed further back on the run by Cepheus out wider. The Inevitable is back nearer the inside as they swing down the side. Osipenko, Steffi Magnetica, Mighty Ulysses, a long way back is Antino, back nearer the inside. Samana's back about second last, out wider on the track, and last of all is Roll On High. So here to Shock in front, second Prince of Boom, 2 lengths away, third is to Party on the inside of Amenable. Going forward, Valana 3 and 4 wide, Magic Time, Bella Nipotina, further back is Benedetta, and back nearer the inside, Dream Hour, 450 left to run. Prince of Boom on the outside of here to Shock, the first couple running home well as Amenable, Bella Nipotina and Valana making good ground. Look at Steffi Magnetica shooting through the inside. Steffi Magnetica down the outside, Valana and Bella Nipotina. Steffi Magnetica, Bella Nipotina down the outside. The inside, Steffi Magnetica, Bella Nipotina. They're the two, they hit the line, and Steffi's won the Stradbroke. Steffi Magnetica from Bella Nipotina. Third will be Valana, followed by the Inevitable, and then Amenable, Osipenko, Benedetta, followed by Dream Hour. Then we had Nugget. A long way back was Roll On High, was Samanos to Party, followed by Magic Time, Prince of Boom, here to Shock, Mighty Ulysses, and Cepheus has pulled up at the rear.
Well, Zach Lloyd has done it. He has finally ridden a Group 1 winner, the son of a gun, the son of champion rider Jeff Lloyd. He's watched all his mates, the apprentices, Dylan Gibbons, Tyler Schiller, ride Group 1s. He's dreamt of this day, and he gets it on Steffi Magnetica, a 3-year-old filly who joins the likes of La Montana, Private Steer and Dane Ripper A 3-year-old filly with 50 kilos has won the Stradbroke, and Björn Baker continues his marvellous success in the Sunshine State.
Amazing. Bjorn had so much confidence in this mare. I'll have to watch the replay. I don't know what he did from that outside draw, but look at him get up on the inside here and just cut the corner and then come out to meet the other horse off the rail. I know you've got to have the horse to do it, but this is a man, maybe his first Group 1 winner, won't be his last, I'll tell you that much. He's all quality, this young man, and a big moment to be pretty well at his home state here and win one of the biggest races in Queensland.
Now, of course, Björn Baker is overseas. He's attending Rachel King's wedding. He'd be cheering from somewhere in the old dart at whatever time it is.
Yeah, absolutely. He'll be cheering all right. What a great performance by this 3-year-old filly and the runner-up, Bella Nipotina. She was so good again. It's interesting that the winner, she ran that great race in Madoomben 10,000 at weight for age first up. Then she wins the Stradbroke, one of the great handicap races of Australia. Look at her zooming along the inside there to beat Bella Nipotina in a close finish. And it's remarkable, Ronnie, that the last time this filly won a race was in the summer at a place called Orange in central western New South Wales in a race that was a benchmark 58. So she's come a long way.
She's come a long, long way. So Bjorn does that. He sneaks them away, wins their maiden, gives them confidence. But I think Bernie's with connections now.
Yes, I've got Jim Clark again here. He cannot believe the fortune of today. So you've taken out Queensland's biggest Group 1. It's Zach's first Group 1. Steffi Magnetica. What a little star she is.
She's an amazing filly. I mean, she won a Wellington 2-year-old race at the back end of the season. She won, I think, a benchmark 58 at Orange in December. She was just chinned in the surround, and yeah, Björn opted to give her a short break and set her for the winter. And I mean,
Running the 10,000 was great.
her run in the 10,000 was amazing. She was in the wrong part of the track. I think everyone saw that. And yeah, it was an amazing ride there. I mean, it's to win Queensland's greatest race with a filly that Gary and Laura Lee and Mitch Cunningham bought as a yearling and trained by one of my best mates and one of my best supporters in Björn is the biggest thrill of my career, and I'm just so pleased.
All right, congratulations. I'll get to Zach.
Yeah, you better touch base with Zach because it's a big one for him.
I've got Jeff Lloyd here. What a son of a gun he is. How proud are you today?
Yeah, very, very proud. It's been crying out to win a Group 1.
Yeah.
To win it in Queensland, where my hometown.
Yep.
Couldn't be prouder.
He's watched all his mates win Group 1s and now he can join them.
Yeah, and they're good mates, and I'm sure they'll be happy for him. I know they will be, and very proud. Yeah, thanks.
We're going to go and watch that replay again. How did he do it from the draw?
Well, yeah, we went through the race a couple of hours this morning, and after a furlong, I said, well, that was a waste of time. He ended up on the rail near the back.
He's got to have a big kiss from Dad first. Zach, extraordinary for you to have your first Group 1 winner here in Queensland. We watched you boys grow up from little fellows here, coming to the races with Mum and Dad. Does it make you feel emotional?
It does, yeah. I was fine the whole time getting back. I just see my dad, it's got me emotional, but no, it's very special. Big thank you, obviously, the Cunningham team and Bjorn for putting me back on her. So it's amazing.
You had a shocking gate to start with. Take us through the race.
Yeah, I was very confident pre-race. She galloped enormous on Tuesday. My dad and I went through the race thoroughly, and we honestly thought we were on the right horse. The first furlong or two went perfect. We got a lovely spot. She was in a good rhythm. She wasn't over racing. But just as a couple of horses started dropping back in our face, I had to make a decision to wait and go around with the pack. But I ultimately thought there would be too much traffic, so I was travelling so well. I was happy to go inside of him, and she was really tough because I saw Bella Nipotina and I thought, oh, this is the one horse that you don't want to be in a finish with. But no, she was great.
There's Mum. Time to enjoy everything here. We'll be finished shortly. obviously you're the young gun star, more or less, of Australian racing. You watch J-Mac obviously every week. What sort of headspace do you like to keep yourself in? You say you went through the race for a couple of hours with your dad, but do you feel like you're the emerging star?
I don't know. Results tell.
You feel like you are.
Results speak louder than words, and it's really good just to get that Group 1 on my resume. Obviously, I've had some great opportunities in the past year or so, and I haven't been able to capitalise. So to get the job done today in a very, very big race, it's very special, and hopefully that propels my career into better heights.
Well done.
Thank you.
Stradbroke, Steffi Magnetica a winner. We've got one to go.
Newcastle race number 8 is a benchmark 64 handicap over 900 metres. Horse number 1 is My Eloise for Nathan Doyle and Braithknock, claiming 3 kilos.
This 5-year-old mare's had 11 starts for 3 wins and 2 minor placings, and as I mentioned in the preview earlier today, her wet track form's quite patchy. I would have preferred her on a dry surface, so I'm just hoping her class can carry her a fair way here today. I thought there was a lot to like about the first up run there at Rosehill Gardens over 1100 metres. I finished 8th behind Yiska, was on speed and just got knocked about a little bit in the straight, was squeezed up, and I thought she boxed on bravely.